Amarillorocks. Hey guys, this week we've got Doni Blair.
Heyo.
Say hi,
Hi.
everyone. Yeah.
Hi.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
I got some shit in my ear.
Yeah. That's
Sorry.
rock and roll juice.
That's a shower.
Shower. Unrock and roll juice. Yeah.
I'm very on rock and roll. Yes. What's up?
What's going on with you?
Nothing. Toadies we're gonna gear up the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Did a show last week for St. Patty's. Got another one coming up. Oh, can't announce it yet, but we have another one coming up. It'll be late spring that we'll be doing that.
Nice.
And then working on a record.
So Donnie here is with a couple of bands. Hagfish. The Mag-7.
Mag-7.
And Tulsa Doom. Is it
Doom.
Tulsa Doom or Tulsa Doom?
Tulsa. My brother came up with that.
Okay. Well, I mean, so the name is from Conan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to play in Dracula's here and there for a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
If you're going to be in... Well, I was going to do some recording stuff. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to do that, you have to have a Dracula's name. So Zach was like, why not be Tulsa Doom? Like, it's rad. Then I said, wait, why don't I just name my project that also?
Yeah.
So... all the good names my brother came up with. I didn't.
He's a pretty creative guy.
He's a pretty good guy.
Yeah. I guess that's where you got the Rise Against Truth from.
I know a guy.
Yeah, you know a guy.
Yeah.
So he's... Hagfish was pretty straightforward, just balls-out punk rock band. That was in the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did... Last recordings we did were like early 2000s. We did some stuff for a friend of ours for their compilation. And then we've just been playing off and on when we can. We like to play around like the holidays, but we haven't in quite a few years because Zach and I have always been gone.
Yeah.
You know.
You
And,
guys are...
yeah, and when we're home...
Yeah, his brother's in a band, he's in a band, they tour, so, you know, they...
Our brother's in Rise Against.
Yeah.
People.
You might have heard of them.
Yeah. I
Probably.
think they're going to do well.
I think
if they just keep at it, they're going to break through.
They're probably going to break through, yeah.
I think they're this close.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do all right.
Good luck to those guys, by the way.
They need it.
They need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's gone for the rest of this year. He
Yeah.
leaves in a week and a half for literally a year. I think
That's
literally the world probably twice over.
That is a pretty committed tour schedule.
They're not screwing around.
I hope that someone is feeding his cat.
Doesn't have one.
Oh.
They have
well
a
then.
puppy
Oh.
named Rob. He's a good boy.
Yeah.
Very good boy.
Shout out, Rob. Have you got a new poocher?
Nope.
A
Not yet.
poocher?
Nope. We're held off. Yeah, we're waiting.
Rest in peace, Frank.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frankie was the best boy ever.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've been doing this music thing for a minute. The Mag-7, I guess, was the first surf project you were...
Yes.
Yeah.
Started that in Dallas in '98. Got turned on to surf music through my brother.
Mm-hmm.
We were just listening to it at the same time. He had bought a Surfcaster. Charvel made these Surfcasters.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty N was playing them. Zach
Yeah.
thought they looked cool, so he was like, hey, on the offside, why don't me and you do like a surf band, and we'll just get extra gigs. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
Then I was like, all right, let's do it. Nah, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, fuck. So I'd already gotten turned on to the music and loved it.
Yeah.
So then Hagfish was kind of going down. Zach was in Guar at the time. And I just put it together with Dan and Scott and then moved here to Amarillo.
Dan
Phillips.
Phillips,
He
yeah.
was in Slow Ride, and then he's in True Widow as well.
Oh, yeah. I love those guys. Yeah.
That's Dan.
Okay.
Yeah. They recorded their first few records at the place where we did our second Mag-7 record. And just great band. And then we moved to Amarillo, and thankfully I met Brandon Mendelius.
Oh, yeah.
And we were able to keep the band going. Actually, Otitis Media re-released our vinyl
Just
this
recently.
week for Cotton Needle.
That was Cotton Needle. That was out in 2009? Something like that?
Yeah.
10, something like that?
Yeah, it was crazy. Just Brandon kind of wrote it and put it down, and then I'd gone to Hawaii.
As he does, yes.
As he does. And I came back from Hawaii, and he was like, all right, I did something. Don't freak out. Like, what did you do? He had sent all the demos to Bill Stevenson and said, thinking of doing this with Bill. Bill loves it. Wants to come up in a few months and record it. Shit.
Okay.
So, yeah. Like,
Bill
okay.
Stevenson is of the Descendants, I believe, is he not?
And Black Flag.
And Black Flag.
No.
The Black Flag.
The Black Flag. His first record with them was My War.
Oh, fucking A.
Kind of a good one to start with.
Yeah,
Why not?
Yeah. Might have heard that one. So that project, of course, by the way, guys, this is going to be a fun thing for you. And I'll just do this for you. Alexa, play the Mag7 on Spotify.
There you
That's
go.
a freebie.
I like that.
Yeah. YouTube's kind of funny about me just... Yeah, there you go. I forgot I had one in the kitchen.
That's good.
Anywho, and so moving forward, that one's had several. Hell, I've played in the Mag7 one time when he was on Punk Rock Bowling, I believe, one year for...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Shit, I had to go.
4 or 5 years ago, something like that.
I forgot. Yeah, it was Hagfish was doing that.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, we flew in and out. It was a fun show. Yeah.
I mean, not gonna lie, I did a good job, Donnie. I did. It was beautiful. I'm not as pretty as you are, but it is what it is. Moving forward, you've had a few iterations. Now the Choctaw.
Tyson Taylor.
Oh, he does have a name.
He does have a
name.
name.
I thought it was just the Choctaw.
Mongo, Grande Rojo.
Yeah.
The Choctaw. He has many. He goes by many iterations.
For you punk rock history buffs here in Amarillo, he was in a band called The Revolt a long time ago. And did you know that? You
I'm not from here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no.
I've only
Tyson
been
was
here.
in a band called The Revolt. Like
Okay.
the first like just balls out punk band that I saw here in town.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That kid's a monster.
Yeah, he is a monster.
He's the best. It's just a joy playing with that guy.
Yeah.
Really
Super
is.
nice dude too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
As long as he doesn't get too many chicken killers in him, from what I hear.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Talk about that.
We can't talk about that.
And so now your new band, Tulsa Doom,
Yes, sir.
is comprised of who?
Well, on the record, the record started off, I had a lot of songs that weren't necessarily how Mag7 was going. They weren't necessarily Toadies. They weren't anything. And I started writing it, and it was, and I met a friend of mine, T.G. Lafredo, that co-wrote and edited my book that I put out, Even If It Kills Me, if anyone's interested, Amazon.
Talk about that a second.
Yeah. And TG was a drummer as well, and he had a huge setup in his house that's out in Vegas. And I send him demos, like, hey, play on these and just see what you think. And he loved them. I'm like, let's just make a record, me and you, And I said, I'll get my brother and all of my friends. I know everyone that play guitar.
Yeah.
So I started sending my brother this stuff, and he was like, I'm not going to play guitar. You sound great on guitar.
Yeah.
I like the way you play guitar.
So you play guitar on this one?
I play 90% of the guitar.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, unless when you hear it and you hear something that's really, 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 really interesting, I did not do that.
Fair enough. I listened to that. I don't know that I can identify those spots. I guess I have to go back and listen.
You'll be able to hear it. Zach plays on 2 songs. Brandon plays on a song. And then Dwayne Deering, that is toured with the Toadies ever since I joined the band. He plays on 2 songs, and it was just fun to go in and do. I would write the song, send it to TG, and kind of come up with stuff. And then he would send it back, and it sounded amazing on the drums. He would play it amazing, and then I would try to figure out, what do I want to do? Does this sound good? Sure. Does it need more? And someone with better talent needs to do this. And so I would just enlist all of my friends, and they would send it back, and then TG mixed it. And then I figured out, shit, I'm going to need a band. So a few years ago, I'd started a band with the lovely John Lerma. You know him.
Well, I know, we've met.
You've met him. The lovelier Gary Wayne, and then the even lovelier Lance Allen. And we started doing surf covers for the hell of it, just to do something.
And that was the Clem Fandango for
it. Was, and now that's going to be the Tulsa Doom.
Okay, so that's the gig band.
That is the band. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to probably start, hopefully doing a record this year, probably when I get back from Toadies tour, whatever else we have going on.
We didn't mention it. Donnie plays for another band also called the Toadies. Texas rock outfit. You might have heard of them. Anyway.
One day we'll make it.
Yeah. So you're pretty busy.
I try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wrote a book, what, a year or two ago? 2 years ago?
No, it was shit. It came out when the Toadies on the last tour. That was 2017.
Oh, okay.
So that's when it came out, and I started it in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's called
Even if it
kills me.
Yep.
And this is about your black belt journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting that in Taekwondo.
Donnie is also a black belt in jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
No. God, no. No, Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
You're going to get me murdered by my friends that I roll with.
No. Guys, that was me saying that, not him. Please don't kick my ass either.
Professors that see me, no. I have reached the lofty level of 3-stripe white belt.
Okay.
Jiu-jitsu.
I don't know how the belt system works.
It takes like 10 to 12 years to get a black belt.
A legit black belt. That guy from Ralph Macchio got one in like 2 hours.
I know.
Yeah.
No, in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, okay.
And karate, taekwondo, it's about anywhere from 2 to 5 years.
I see.
And those, but like it takes about what it takes normally, like in a Japanese striking art. That's like your black belt, but that's the basics.
Yeah.
It takes that long to get a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and you're blue,
Okay.
So it's.
So you roll with some of those guys here, Chad and those cats.
Chad Smith, yeah, he owns Guzzo with Parker, David Parker, and they're it's a great school. The professor there is Philemon Tejera, another great guy. Just the community itself is fantastic. Just the best
Chad's
thing.
Fucking cool guy too, man.
He's
Great,
one of the
amazing
best.
tattoo artist. Good Lord.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, come over to my house, look at my wife and I are walking billboards for him. Yeah, he's the
Chad's
best.
Awesome.
One of the best guys to have even more so as a friend. You know what I mean?
It's like every time I do a show, so I still put posters up, obviously. I make posters, and I still drive around town and put posters up for shows.
Yeah.
Because I'm old school like that, right?
Yeah.
Chad is always super cool about that, man. He's never said no one time. He said, put it where you need it, and he's always been cool.
That's not him. You know? He loves that aspect of things, and he's one of those guys that, like you, like if you're in a pinch, Chad's there. And he has been quite a few times. So, he's a good guy.
So the Tulsa Doom album is done, it's recorded, mastered.
Yes.
All done?
Completely done.
You sent me, I listened to, did you send me an unmastered one or did you send me a mastered one?
Unmastered. Okay,
yeah.
I'll give you the test pressing in a few days. I should have brought it with me.
When's it going to come out?
We're working on that. Noah at Toadies, who's doing the cotton needle reissue as well. He's working on trying to figure it out. He's going through Pirate Press. Mm-hmm. He actually had
those guys.
Austin,
is that Austin?
I think so. He had talked to them about the cotton needle and was waiting on it, and called them and they lost it, so they had to remake it.
Are you going to do any like weird colors or anything that you know of?
I hope. I don't know. I think he wants to.
Press or something.
That's his thing. The cotton needle is blue and white and black. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think he wants to do like red, because the color scheme on this is black and red.
Yeah.
This record is, and it's pretty excited. I want to have it out before the tour in the fall.
Yeah.
And I think that starts September. So
the tour with Toadies.
Yes, and Reverend Horton Heat. And
Toadies.
Dracula's on the majority of that too.
Toadies and the Rev. So y'all were supposed to play a show last September. It was still kind of pandemic-y,
Oh, it was very pandemic-y. That's why we didn't do it.
Yeah.
We were concerned.
Yeah.
We were too.
Yeah.
It was a strenuous 2 weeks for us.
And the Rev played here at Golden Light, like a solo show, a couple of months before.
He did right after it, and
Yeah.
it was just, and it's not anyone's different or better or wrong or anything. It's just different sensibilities, and we still played with Jim after that. It's always great playing with Jim. I mean, Jesus, I've learned so much from those two.
Man,
so much, and they're the best people.
Probably, they say never meet your heroes, but I got to meet him, finally meet him. We did a show with him a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to meet him because he was sick as hell on the bus. So he came in, did a show, went back to the bus.
At Hoots?
Yeah, Hoots.
Yeah, I remember that.
And,
I went down and said hello to the guys
there.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you here. And just, he was just hobnobbing, just shooting the shit with people. I just got to talk to him for a minute, and then I told him, we shared a couple of pandemic stories and stuff, and then told him about Mom, and it's like my mom was way proud of me for getting to play that show with him.
Awesome.
So I've been hammering her with Rev's tunes for 25 years. I was like,
all good.
making her. Yeah, they're all good. God doesn't make a bad song.
No.
So she knew how much I loved her. I got to a show and it made her so proud, and it's like,
awesome,
dude. It made him happy. Like he stuck his hand out and said, Jim, and I was like,
I know.
Yeah, I was like, dude, everybody on the planet knows who you are.
That happened years ago, right when my wife and I got married. We got married in early December, '94, and we were hanging out, and we had no idea once Christmas came. How to figure that out. Like, wait, shit, we're not going to spend Christmas together, So my mom came down to Dallas, and her and my brother stayed with me. And Christmas Eve, we went to Bar of Soap to go see Lone Star Trio, who are now 1100 Springs. Well, they broke up. It was Matt and Steve, and they had a different drummer. And Jim was there. So we just sat down and spent the whole night, Jim and my mom talking.
Oh, that's awesome.
And Jim's just you see him, and you just still, you want to, just, my brother saw him last time, and I think he and Zach spent half an hour talking and just
he reminds me of those just nice old dudes that grew up in these small towns, man.
He is.
Except he's a fucking monster on guitar. He's not human, but I mean,
God, he's such an amazing guitar player.
It's ridiculous.
And I'm glad that we're going to get to redo this tour with them.
Yeah.
Because it'll just be a fun tour, And it's, at that point in time, everything was raging.
Yeah. Oh, God. That was right at the tail end of Delta, the beginning of Omicron, man. It was...
We didn't feel comfortable for the crowd, and definitely ourselves, And it was... We didn't want people to come into the shows to be in that packed, because already at that point, the shows were selling out.
I mean, and you feel responsible for that shit, We
100% would have.
Yeah.
And then... everything blew down and then came back up with Omicron, and we ended up all getting COVID belly bops. Yeah.
You and Shelly both have it?
Shelly didn't get it.
She never got it.
Our wives didn't get it.
Far out.
We got it. Our wives did not. But it was another reason we were just concerned, because then we had a Cancun show booked.
Oh, far out, yeah.
And we didn't feel comfortable going to Cancun, Vaden went ahead. He went ahead and did it solo and had a great time. So, but it was, hopefully everything's looking good right now.
Far out, man.
But it'll be good to get back out on the road. And
so Gary Wayne, Lance, and Larima, it's gonna be hard to get those guys on the road. I think. Are you gonna road that show, or is it just gonna be?
Well, I don't know. I
Yeah.
think if people want out-of-town shows,
Yeah.
then it's first crack. They get first crack. So it's I definitely know in the summertime, there's no reason they can't.
Right.
We've talked about that. So I think it's if during the fall or whatever, if there's a string of dates or something, then I ask them, do you guys want to do this first?
Yeah.
It's their thing to turn down. Nah, we can't. Okay, then I'll see if some people can help me out.
Right.
But as far as I'm concerned, it's them.
Right.
I've already got ideas for another record coming up, and I want them.
This
to do
just
it.
self-titled album, or does it have you have another subtitle?
Called it War Chief because of the Warriors.
Nice.
Yeah. Swan, he was War Chief.
Yeah.
So it hit me one day. I'm like, oh, that's it. And I texted Noah, and he was like, I love it. And then the artwork that he came up with works with it perfectly.
Do you have? Never mind.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So you got that, and you made mention you're the new publisher. You're going to work on another book.
I am.
Good Lord, man.
It's a local publisher, Charles D'Amico, Blue Handle Publishing, and I just contacted him because I love writing. I mean, it's nothing that I have to do. I have to. If there's a great avenue, then that's fantastic. But I don't sit in my house writing madly like Charles Bukowski or Henry Miller, one of those people.
Oddly enough, you're the second author I've had on the show this week.
Who's the other one?
I had Schizofuel on Monday.
I didn't know he had written anything.
Dude, he's written a couple of books. He's got like a mini series that he wrote for like over a couple of years called River of Blood. That's really, really good.
I did not know
Anarchy
that.
Fiction. He's got a bunch of short stories. He's published, man. It's
Nice.
Yeah,
I
pretty
did
crazy.
not know that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm number 2.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Hey.
And I think this book will be about either loosely based or it'll just be about kind of mine and my brother starting out.
Nice. Okay.
I don't really want to. I like beginning stories. I mean, if someone wants to know what happened to us, all they got to do is look it up online.
Yeah.
But they don't know what happened. I mean, a lot of people know who were fans of Guar. My brother was in Guar. He was on Violence Has Arrived. That was his first Guar record.
Yeah.
So people can pick up that story from there, And they know Hagfish, but more people know Guar than anything.
Right.
And then Only Crime and obviously Rise Against and Toadies and stuff. But Hagfish was the first thing we did. And it was fun. But how did that band get started, and that kind of stuff. And so that's kind of what I think we're going to write the book about, and just that beginning.
And is that going to be a part of it also? Like
My brother?
help writing?
No, he's not going to help. I'm going to have to ask him about stuff that
Mostly.
happened, though, because there's so much that I can't remember. Because I had my head in a book. I didn't give a shit, I was either in a book or looking for a phone to call home. That's all I did. And Zach remembers so much more of what happened than I did. Lot of stuff. There was one night we were out with Everclear, right? We'd been into bag tagging. You ever done that?
I don't know about that.
You wouldn't like it. You slap someone in the nuts. It
okay.
sucks. Yeah.
Then yes,
We've been doing it to everybody.
Yeah.
And we were out with Everclear. It was 3 nights at the Troubadour. No, at the Roxy.
Mm-hmm.
And they had just had Sparkle and Fade had come out, and it had gone platinum. So it was a party for that. We were on tour with them at that point.
Yeah.
We'd already toured with them beforehand. And when they went huge, that we were the first band they took out again. So good guys, really good guys. So we're at this party. And I'm talking to Art, their singer, and we see my brother and Tony Barsotti talking to Gary Gersh, who is head of Capitol. He signed Nirvana and all that stuff, right? And they're bullshitting with him, and Art looks at me and he goes, "Why are Zach and Tony talking to Gary?" I'm like, "I don't know, it'll be fine, man." And then we see Tony talk to him and then bag tag him, wrap him in the nuts, and he falls over and does this, and Art's face just goes white. Like, yeah, that's not good. So we got the fuck out of there.
Oh my God, I didn't get cancer or some shit from that.
Dude, like, Jesus Christ. So,
some of the best road stories. You're the guy that taught me about bunk puppets.
nope.
Yep, I heard that. I'll never forget. I'm not going to explain it. You guys can Google it.
You
but
can look it up.
Yeah, but that is
It's bad.
It's bad.
It's very bad. There's a lot of good road stuff, and especially shit we learned in Hagfish, because we were, Zach and I were 2 dipshits out of Sherman, Texas. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
Where the hell is Sherman, Texas?
45 minutes north of Dallas.
Oh, okay.
So we would go to Dallas on the weekends, and that's how we started Hagfish. Before that, we had a band called Government Flu, straight edge band. And we found out the other day, we had recorded. It was with me and my brother, our drummer, who was in our other thrash metal band, Harm's Way, with a Z, and then a friend of ours named Tony Streetman. And Tony was straight edge like my brother and I. We didn't know what the fuck straight edge was. That's how, green we were. He goes, "Oh yeah, you guys are straight edge."
So you got the
"We
tattoo?
are." No, he didn't have the tattoo.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I think I got that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Zach got it as well too. But he kind of told us what we were. Instead of being the weird guys at parties that didn't party, we didn't drink, we didn't do drugs, we didn't do anything. He goes, oh, no, you're straight edge.
Yeah.
So we had a label to it. So we started a straight edge hardcore band, played one show, broke up. But we met, at that one show, we met Baning Lion, who we ended up starting Hagfish with. So, anyway, there's a friend of ours named Damien. He's the singer in Fucked Up. Have you heard them? Anyone out there, listen to Fucked Up. They're from Canada. They're one of the best hardcore punk bands. They're fucking amazing. So just go with that.
And talk about catching a name and that everyone wants and owning it.
They're huge too.
I mean,
they're just, you'll love, trust me,
Yeah.
I know you'll love Fucked
Okay.
Up.
Yeah.
And so Damien also has a great podcast called Turned Out a Punk.
Okay.
And he's had Zach on several times. And Zach had mentioned that we had this old hardcore band. And Damien was like, okay, what was it called? And he said, have you recorded anything? Zach was like, yeah, I think so. And sent it to him. And he wants to put that out on his label now.
Oh.
So
All right.
that'll come out next year or so.
Speaking of punk rock,
Yes, sir.
you know who's coming here Friday?
Yeah. It's Friday. I was thinking it was Saturday.
No.
You know what? I met him twice.
Yeah.
Once Firehose were playing. Dose were opening. And Dose was Mike's band when he was married to Kira, wrestler, who was in Black Flag and one of my fucking heroes, bass heroes. I think she's everyone's bass hero. She's Carl's bass hero from Descendants. We've talked about Kira a lot. So they were opening, and Zach had gotten in a car wreck and couldn't go to the show. And so I went to get something signed for him. It was me and Mark Piro from Tripping Daisy went. And we were just right in the front of Watt, like that, the entire fucking time. Then Hagfish got to play with him in Oklahoma City a number of years later.
Yeah.
And we had sound checked because we were opening. And I walked off, and Watt looks at me and points. He goes, bass. Bass. I was like, he was like pointing at me, bass. Bass.
You bass,
I'm like,
bass. Yeah.
yeah, and I just shook his hand, but I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah, you're one of the reasons I play bass.
You know, man,
He's great.
So Mike Watt's playing at Golden Light Friday. Skits is opening that show.
Okay.
We've done shows with him in the past. Partied with him one like Memorial Day weekend years ago. Like he and the band were kind of stuck here for like a couple of days.
Oh, man.
And so we all stayed at Angela's mom's house at the time over on Polk Street. As
Workman? That Angela?
No, Angela. Corpening owns Golden Light.
Oh, different
Yeah.
Angela.
Yeah,
got
yeah.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
But it is 20 years ago, man. And he had some crazy stories, and we barbecued and drank Mickey's Big Mouth.
I bet he has got some stories.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, if you think about it, they were the... I mean, Jesus, they were the Lewis and Clark. All those guys. Those guys, Black
Bro.
Flag and Descendants.
Yeah.
For all of us, the regulars. I mean, they weren't Boston or Motley Crue or any of those people.
Damn good way of putting it, too, the Lewis and Clark.
Think about it.
Yeah,
they
no,
were.
no, you're right. You're right.
They figured out them, and they used, Joe Carducci from SST. He would book, and then so would Chuck Dukowski. So all those guys were doing this stuff. They were kind of like, well, screw the major labels. We can figure this out. We can do this.
Yeah.
And they did it. And then they allowed other people like Dead Kennedys to do it, and then Minor Threat, and then Fugazi. And it just kind of rolled out that, And it was...
Straight edge bands, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, they took it out of the hands of the big labels, the big agents.
Yeah.
They put it in the hands of everyone, of just
Would you
blue-collar
say
people like us.
That's kind of where, maybe that's kind of where indie music got started. Not really got started, but,
Oh, it was.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
When you could go out and put music out on your own without those guys. The record labels, big evil fucking empire. Back in the 50s and 60s, those, so many artists those guys made or break them, and it was, it was an unholy alliance between them and DJs and shit. And then these guys came out, booked their own shows, made their own pressings, tape trading, shit like that. The bands I was in, we did tape trading. Yeah, dude.
Well, even the punk bands that we loved in America, Ramones, fantastic, of course. All of the punk bands, Fear, everyone were still on big labels. X and Fear were still on Slash's subsidiaries. X went on to Elektra. I mean, X.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, they're amazing. Fear, all of them. So they still had
Lee Ving's band.
God, Fear. Even the Sex Pistols were on Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So, they were kind of, subverting things from the inside. But these guys, Watt and Bill and Greg Ginn and all those guys were like, they weren't using anyone in the major label industry. They were just booking shows, and they were carving out a path for all of us. Watt was doing that, So if you go and see that show, if you're in a band and you're booking your shows, you owe a lot of it to that guy, I think. When you see them, he went in and made his own records. They went and made their own music. Minutemen were like nothing that anyone ever had heard at that point.
The first time I saw him live, we used to have this place here years ago called the Peace Farm. The fuck out east of town. It was just a big plot of land, and it was kind of overlooking Pantex, it was kind of tail end of the Cold War type stuff. And they had a big peace rock and roll punk rock festival out there. There's Groove Lords played, and the headliner was Mike Watt I can't remember if it was the Minutemen or the Second Man. I think it was the Minutemen. And
what year was it?
Oh God, 95.
It would have been Minutemen.
It might have been the Second Man.
D-Boone died, I think, 85.
Oh, okay.
So they wouldn't. After that, it's when he did Firehose.
It wasn't Firehose. It might have been the second. It was the Second Man, or something like that.
He probably did something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
So like his the band now is called MSSV.
Yeah. Okay.
Main ship steam valve or something like that.
That makes sense.
Like a naval term. Yeah, it's like a naval term. Looks pretty.
Yeah. Big. I think since he's from San Pedro, and it's a huge naval. And I believe his dad.
That makes sense.
Was a captain, a boat captain.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys, Keith Morris, Bill Stevenson, a lot of those guys, since they were so close to the water, anything naval is tied into them. There's so much of Descendants folklore and songs that are tied into, Catalina, stuff like that, tied into being on a boat,
Would you say they come from the water?
They wouldn't. You know what that song's about, though?
What's that song?
Our singer, Vaden, his dad is a Baptist preacher. And that's what Vaden
Backslider, I come from the water, yeah.
Think about Backslider.
Oh, yeah.
And so he found out his dad believed in evolution. So that's what he wrote, I Come From the Water, about.
Far out.
It was mine.
Baptist preacher that believes in evolution.
I didn't know Backslider was about that until my wife was with me listening to it, and she was like, I know what this is about.
Yeah.
This is about getting baptized. And I went, huh?
He did have a lot of dark shit like that, man. The Rattler Revival. I love the video for that one. I love the horns. That was the honey horns, honey bear horns, or something like that. Or
Honey Bears.
Honey
it
Bears,
was Joe. Oh God, no, Joe. I don't want to get it right. Great band out of Austin. Maybe Joe Lewis and the Honey Bears. Fantastic.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Fantastic band, and it was those guys. Whenever he wrote the demo for that, he showed it to me. And he was playing it, and I hadn't played with my fingers in the band yet. So I was talking to him one night in Houston, and I said, when we do that, I'm going to have to do it with my fingers, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it with the pick. He's like, oh yeah, totally do that. So that was kind of like, oh, okay, I can do this,
the Toadies are viciously covered here all over Texas.
I like that word, viciously.
Viciously covered. I have heard some of the most beautiful and some of the worst fucking covers of Tyler I've ever heard in my life.
You and me both. And PK.
Yep. You never hear guys do Possum Kingdom, or not Possum Kingdom. I Come From the Water, or anything else like. So we covered Rattlesnake Revival a few years ago.
Nice.
Did I ever show you that? It was like a Christmas show we did at Leftwoods. I had a horn section and
I
everything.
think so. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Hilarious. And we had a couple of guys in the crowd that I remember somebody asked me, "It's like I thought that was a Toady song." That is a Toady song.
It is a choice.
Yeah, we do covers too.
It's fun. It's
How long you been with those guys for?
since 2008. This will be
2008,
my
yeah,
this will be my 16th
16th
year.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
14th year.
14th year. I'm not good at math.
Math.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14th year. It's been. I mean, I was a fan of the band. I mean, whenever Rubberneck came out. I mean, shit. One of our first gigs in Deep Ellum was playing with the Toadies, and it was a band, Slowpoke, that Daryl Herbert was in.
I remember those guys. Yeah.
Them, then Hagfish, and then the Toadies at Club Clearview, and the only people in the band were Slowpoke. I mean, that were in the audience were Slowpoke, Hagfish, and the Toadies. We just stayed and watched each other.
Yeah.
So we would see the Toadies. We saw them open for Rollins' band on the End of Silence tour.
Nice.
And that was the first time we saw them. And, we were like, what the fuck is this? It's all these people looking down and then one guy screaming. I mean, Todd used to look like a tomato.
Yeah.
Still does.
Bright red.
When he starts screaming. And so we became fans instantly, and then when Rubberneck came out, blew our mind. And then when Hell Below came out, definitely blew my mind. So playing the songs is still fun to still go out there and see people and to hear them in my ear. I mean, Clark's in my left ear, Vaden's in my right ear, and then his voice is in the middle.
Yeah.
We're on ear, so it's cool hearing their guitar playing. And then Rez, no one's better than Mark Resnicek ever.
And you guys do the little crossfire mics up front to get audience noise, so it's not so isolating. Is that what it is?
Yeah, well, the first time we did it, we were playing at, Bomb Factory. They'd reopened it.
Mm-hmm.
Place was sold out, and Vaden had talked us into going to all in-ears. We didn't want to, I'm used to monitors, and it's just really expensive. He was like, just trust me on this, trust me. So we did, and I already thought we were pretty tight beforehand, but that made us in each other's heads.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. It was like we were invading each other's space and our brains. Like it was almost, dirty.
They were invading.
Invading, exactly. I got to use that.
You're welcome.
He might laugh, might not.
Cool.
But it was just fun because we were sitting and this sounds amazing, but we had forgotten to turn up the crowd mics.
Oh, yeah.
So the place was, it was packed. It was 3,500 people in there watching. And then we came out, and all I could see was just, that was it. We couldn't hear shit. I'm like, what the fuck, but we could hear each other crystal clear, and just ever since that point, I don't like playing without him.
We've been talking about making that transition. I'm going to build a little rig back there for in-ears. And I don't know. I mean, I've used them before, but they take some getting used to, You guys practice with them?
Oh, yeah. We don't do shit without them.
Nice.
Never, ever. Because it's, they're just amazing.
Yeah.
They really are. I think my brother was on them in Guar. I think they used them a little bit. And obviously, once he got into Rise, they were like, are you good with ears? He's like, oh, yeah. So he hasn't been off of them since. And he was telling me about them. Like, you got to do it. And it's helped my hearing, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just great. You can hear everything. And even in a loud show, if you think someone's doing something that you have to be prepared for, you hear it automatically. There's not a gap. Or if your monitors are screwed up, ever. It's right there.
That would be the cool thing, is being able to move around and the sound not change. Sometimes you move too close to the bass rig, all your shit sounds different. You move too close to the guitar rig, you can't hear yourself.
For me, it's still somewhat like that because I like to stand close to my bass because I have, an acoustic head that's louder than anything on the planet, So I like to sit in front of that and have a lot of kick.
Yeah.
And then their guitars. So but I don't move around that much anyway.
Right.
But it's fun to hear, And we talk shit to each other in the mics, you know. And no one can really hear it because we have our mics down low, so we'll just say shit and crack each other up.
What mics?
Our like front mics, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, like Clark and I will do backups and stuff, but we end up talking shit to each other.
That doesn't feed out to the. Okay.
They don't know because they don't know what the hell we're saying. Most of the shit I say is just to make Vaden laugh, you know.
Yeah.
And it usually works.
Well, god damn. So, how many damn albums do they have now?
Well, they put out EPs. Well, there's the Pleather EP, you know. But, you know, Rubberneck, Hell Below, and then No Deliverance, and then I got in at that. They did Feeler, because they got the rights back to that music.
Yeah.
So they went back in, and they did that. They had started it, they wanted to finish that up. Then we made Play Rock Music, then we did Heretics, and then Lower Side of Uptown. And the live record, you know, which is... I love that live record.
Play Rock Music is still my personal favorite out of all of them.
I'm sorry?
Play Rock Music is my favorite.
Thank you.
Like, that's probably one of my top 5 favorite albums. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Oh.
I appreciate that. It's a good record. It was a weird record to me. This is my first record to make with them.
Yeah.
So it was kind
Summer
of
of the Strange, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was cool because before that, you know, Vaden was pretty centered. And he controlled the music, you know. And you know what? Why not? It worked so far.
Yeah.
We don't argue. But at that point, he kind of got a little bit more laid back with things. So he would go, hey, I got this. What do you think? Like, could try this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Bass-wise.
Yeah.
But for the majority, and we're still that way. He'll present something like, this is what I got. You have a different thing, you know, and I'll work on stuff. And if I don't really mess with it because he writes great, interesting bass lines. He had to for Lisa. She had short hands, you know, so he had to write those bass lines where they could be easy to play for her hands too. But he also had to make them creative. He didn't want to just don't. He had to make them very inventive, you know. So I think he pulled it off. So it's more like, I'm going to listen to him.
I mean, it's famous music now, you know. I mean, you guys have been around for the long haul, damn near 30 years.
Yeah, I think he started it in '89,
yeah.
And then Rez joined '91.
Yeah.
Rez's first practice, he joined. They'd already had 2 or 3 tapes out, so he joined and he knew all those songs. And he was like, "All right, well, what do you guys want to practice on?" Tracy, that was in the band at that point. It was Charles, Tracy, Lisa, Vaden, and then Rez. And Rez was like, what do you want to play? And Vaden was like, I got a new riff. See what you got. Da-da, da-da, da-da,
yeah.
da-da, da-da.
Yeah.
What do you got? And then Rez played the drum beat. And they were like, all right, you're in the band. That was his audition. They wrote PK.
Wow.
I didn't know it. He told me that. I didn't know that at all.
Dude, the Machine, he's a funny guy. You know, he and I are friends on Twitter. I've never really talked to him much, but
Rez?
Like,
Rez is one of the best people on the planet.
Good dude. And he's
just
big time in comic books, man.
Rez wrote if anyone is out there, any comic nerds, he wrote one of the best comics I've read called Buzzkill with Donnie Cates, who Cates is writing the Hulk now.
Oh, far out.
Yeah. They put that out with Dark Horse.
Yeah, that thing.
I used to have this as a kid.
Yeah.
My brother and I had this exact same one. We would fight over who got to read it and stuff. It's fucking awesome, man. Well, I mean, but Cates is writing all of this. All of that's Kirby. Yeah, Rez, but that's not Kirby. Can't remember who it is, but Rez would know. I think it's Buscema or something, because
that's pretty old.
Drew the Hulk for a while.
Yeah.
And that's Rez's knowledge of comics is amazing.
Yeah.
But Buzzkill is about a guy who, the drunker he gets, the stronger, more powerful he gets. And the comic starts because he blacked out fighting his mortal enemy, and they destroyed half the city. So he's in AA. because he doesn't remember what happened, and a lot of people were killed or hurt, so he can't allow himself to get like that again. And that's how the comic starts.
Okay,
it's one of the best comics I've read. You want to talk comics with anyone?
Yeah.
We went to Marvel once. It was around my birthday years ago, and we got invited to go up and visit. And we were with an intern, a guy that was a marketing guy. And Rez and I spent an hour looking at all the posters and just naming everything. And this guy was like, Jesus, you guys should do the tour. We're like, yeah, we really should. We know more than you, Slick.
There's a Comic-Con coming up in about a month, I think, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm trying to get Rez to come up for that. Him and another friend of ours, James Obar, that wrote The Crow.
Yeah.
And he did the artwork for Black Feathers, last Mag7 record. Yeah.
The tie-in, everything. It's like the world is smaller than we think sometimes.
It really is, man. Sorry about that.
Right.
Yeah, no, it really is.
Yeah, when Brandon gave me a copy of Black Feathers, he accidentally gave me the test pressing.
Oh shit!
I was looking through my records one day and I looked at that one and opened it up and it was like it's only on one side. I'm like, the fuck? And then it said it was a master. It was a master. Well, I guess that is a test pressing.
Yeah, that would be it.
Yeah, and I was like, hey man, did you mean to give me this? And it was like an oh shit moment, you know.
Keep it.
But I'd already had. Well, no, I gave it back to him. But I'd had it, for like a year and a half or something like that before I realized what was going on.
Love that record.
Yeah, that's a fucking killer record. Yeah.
Tyson plays his ass off on that.
And for the next probably 45 minutes, I'd like to talk about Del Scorcho. Probably the greatest song ever recorded. It is just a meth-fueled rage. It is Motorhead without words.
Thank you.
It is fantastic.
Thank you.
And probably one of my favorite songs of all time. I lose my fucking shit every single time y'all play it.
I know.
This big fat bastard will get out
and start
a pit by myself.
You're the only reason we play that song. We do not play it other than if you want it.
No.
That's it. We had been up on our way to, we'd fallen in love with, Del Taco.
Mm-hmm.
And that was their sauce, Del Scorcho. So we would write a lot of our songs on the way up to make records or while we're making the record. You know?
I know you made the titles up as you went. There's a lot of Blazing Saddles, shitload of dimes.
I came up with that one.
Where did Dick Cemetery come from?
Bill
Okay,
Stevenson.
that one's way.
Yeah, that he came up with that. We were on tour with Only Crime. We were in Europe, and he came up with that. And on Cotton Needle, we were doing the song that we named it from, and Jason Livermore.
Mm-hmm.
He had done something, and I was like, Jesus Livermore, you kind of know what you're doing. That sounds good. And he goes, you don't hire Evil Knievel to ride a tricycle.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, we're naming this song that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. When the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor,
Animal House.
that's
This Being Mute. Bachelor Party. Sedative. Young Frankenstein.
It almost seems like it would be as much fun titling the songs as it is making the music.
It is.
It's
way more fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just like we write the songs so we can. I mean, Brandon and I had a cache of extra song titles that we're just waiting to write more records for. That's the only reason we write records, so we can put these songs to them. We just go down the line. Okay, that one, that one, that one. They all, and it's just kind of. I think one song, the Commish, is on.
Black Feathers.
Knife to a Gunfight.
Yeah.
Because we were driving down to do a gig, and there was this guy, and I believe he had like some custom van or whatever, and it just said the Commish, but he was wearing Elvis glasses, had a mullet, and he was just driving. I'm like, what the fuck? And Brandon went and wrote that song. Knife to a Gunfight came around because in Only Crime, we had a really small truck that we would tour around in. And Bill, as everyone knows, loves to fart. That's what he does. And our singer in the band was Russ Rankin from Good Riddance. Fantastic guy, but he wasn't used to the level of ass power coming out every day. So he was like, all right. He went and got one of those evergreen, like air fresheners.
Yeah.
Looks like a tree. And he had put it up because Aaron Dahlbeck, our guitar player, was farting also, and he was killing it. Just fucking up the airspace, blowing it up. And, Russ had put this little air freshener in the middle of our living room where we were. We woke up the next day, and Stevenson had taken a magic marker and wrote "knife to a gunfight" on both sides. So that's where that came from. So much stuff comes from Bill.
Yeah.
So many things. Bill is probably he wants to be an unofficial member of the band. Just name songs.
Just okay.
But I think we're gonna do another Cotton Needle with him as well.
Nice. Okay.
I think so. He wants to do one too, so it's just finding the time.
Cotton Needle was a Mag7 album cover, but it's also now another version of the band. The band is called Cotton Needle.
Yeah.
And that's more the slow jazz noir stuff.
Yeah. And that's kind of whoever wants to be in it. Like, I want to do it. If I can do it, cool. If not, other people. That's more what Tulsa Doom is for me. That is for Brandon. Kind of like, I'm along for the ride. Whatever you need me to do. And we'll find people to do it. That's his visions. He wrote that whole record. I just played on it.
Yeah. And you guys did some stuff with Jim Griffin a few years ago.
Yeah.
Weird stuff. That was
It was great.
Cool. Yeah. Y'all played. I've never played those recordings for you. I need to send you that stuff.
I would like to hear that.
I've recorded all that
really
stuff. I've got him playing the flute and stuff, and I'm kind of going off.
Really fun stuff.
Yeah.
But it was also, you have to remember, the originals we had, he had really good material to riff on.
Mm-hmm.
If you have bullshit, you're going to sound like shit. He didn't. Brandon gave him some really well-crafted tunes. Really, really did. So, a good musician can make something sound great, but you have to have something good to beginning. You know, so Brandon gave him really, really good fucking tunes. So Brandon wants to turn that stuff into another record as well. So we're going to see, hopefully, Brandon, if Bill can do that.
Nice. Where's he based out of?
Bill, Fort Collins. That's where the Blasting Room is. Him and Jason Livermore.
Oh, that's Livermore. Okay, that's.
Yeah, and Andrew Berlin.
Yeah.
He's their other engineer. That's where Rise do all of their records too. Everything. I think they went and did one record with Nick Raskulinich. They did Rush and Foo Fighters and goddamn Deftones and Coheed and Cambria. Everyone.
Yeah.
They went and tried a record with him, and they liked it, but for their last one, they just decided to go back with Bill. They did that during the pandemic, right when it started.
Far out.
Yeah. Zach had come up while they were up recording, and
you believe that shit was 2 years ago?
It was about 2 years ago, that Zach came up. He came up at the beginning of it. He drove from Austin and stayed, and we hung out. Then he finished up his drive. Then a month and a half later, came right back, and it was just weird, and they tried to do it as quick as possible,
God, it's so hard to absorb how much has happened since then, A
lot of death, a lot of
God,
stupidity, a lot of anger, a lot of vitriol over differences of opinions, a lot of stoking of bullshit too.
And now we're on the brink of World War III. I mean, that's nothing.
We'll see. I don't think anyone's that stupid,
I don't know about that.
Not anymore.
I'm concerned about it, but you and I grew up in the Cold War, man. I mean, they.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Get under your desk. Why?
Why? This is easy.
Yeah.
Compared to what we went through, I think. Hopefully, no one's that stupid, But I think everyone's trying to play.
Yeah.
Whatever. I won't get into the politics of it. I know my own thinking of it, but I believe. Hopefully, the right people are in place to calm the fucking situation down. As George Carlin said, calm down, have some dip. So, just go along with George Carlin.
I think that's probably a fair way to close it out. Do you want to add anything else? You got any shows coming up locally with the Tulsa Doom?
We're gonna play our first show at Golden Light on April 1st with
Are you
Vamping.
really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, good one. No, we actually are.
Okay.
Yeah, with Vamping. We're
Okay,
gonna play
nice.
with them. Yeah, we're gonna do a quick set with them. We got some more stuff coming up in May, and then hopefully I'll be announcing more about the book coming up really soon.
Cool.
Just meeting with those folks. They're really, really cool and very, unlike my last publisher, these guys want to take their time. They want to make sure it's right.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, so far so good. They're really nice people. You know, I'm pretty excited about it.
I think it's going to be a good spring, good summer.
I do too.
I'm ready for some outdoor gigs, man.
Yeah.
Get on those patios, have some fun, play some music.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just go and do some more stuff like we did at Crush last year, which was fun. We were just playing regular surf music. We weren't trying to play to bigger crowds or blow people away with our loudness and downstroking or any of that shit. It was just playing. It was nice. It was a lot of fun. You know, I want to do more of that. You know.
There's going to be plenty of it. We're going to be opening I think I'm going to be building a little stage outside at Leftwoods. And then we're talking about, I might do a residency on Wednesdays up there.
Nice.
You know,
Awesome.
just kind of take that over and host a little open jam, like early in the evening, 5 o'clock type thing, you know.
Nice.
It's nice and, you know, catch the cool of the evening before it's too late and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it, man. I'm about it this year.
I think everyone is. I think it's just a good time to get out, finally get out, you know, and just try to live. Everyone's ready to live and hopefully go to shows. And I know last year my brother and those guys had done a tour. They landed the plane, you know, so it was half of us were going out, half of us weren't, you know, and it was kind of, I think this year everyone can kind of be on the same. We're doing this, you know, and I think the crowds are like, they're ready for it.
They're ready to cut loose a little bit, for God's sakes.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, and it'll be fun just to go out and play music and hang out with my friends on a bus, you know.
And Shelly.
And Shelly, always my wife, Shelly.
Yeah.
We end the tour on her birthday, October 28th.
Oh, far out.
Yeah, so it's in Fort Lauderdale. So I'm flying home.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drive the bus home at all.
Yeah. Are you guys on like a Prevost this year? Or,
I think that's what it will be. Yeah. I don't know. We have to look at that and get all that stuff done, but it'll be, we're in our 50s. We don't do the van. No. No. We don't do the van anymore. It's, you get to a point where it's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. It's fun and you save money. But you know what? When you walk on those things and you got all of your snacks and your coffee and your shower and your bunk, you don't care how much it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. I'm doing this until I die.
I'm on this thing for 2 months. I'm gonna be comfortable.
Fuck a van. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I still like touring in a van, but for like a week, maybe 2 weeks tops. Past that,
not 2 months.
Yeah, no, I'm 50. No fucking way.
Well, man, I appreciate you being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Finally got you on board.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Yeah. So look out for Tulsa Doom this summer. Maybe some Mag7 stuff in the future.
I hope.
Some Cotton Needle, and of course, Toadies. Oh, before I forget.
That's coming. We're working on that this fall.
I have a present for you.
Oh shit! What is this?
This is it's a thing.
Gift.
Yeah. I'm terrible at wrapping presents.
As Brandon and I say.
Yeah.
Gift.
Yeah.
That's another. Do you know what that's from?
No, I don't.
All right, I'll let you figure it out.
You might need a.
Brandon knows it.
A raspy edge.
Shit. What is this?
The label doesn't mean anything.
Oh, okay, good. I don't know who the.
Yeah.
That way or this way?
Yeah, it's that way. And then
Because it sucks whenever I go roll at jiu-jitsu, everyone's like really conscious of my hands.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know?
I'm keeping my distance. Oh yeah. This was
Oh, well, of course.
owned by a famous bass player.
I wouldn't say famous, but our bass player. Thank you. I need this. I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you, good sir. And I'll get that out of your hair, too. Thank you.
And also, add that to your collection.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank you so much.
And then you and Zach can continue to fight over it.
Fucking read. We do. We still find the comics that we had when we were kids.
Yeah.
And, or action figures or whatever. Just when we were kids. And we'll send each other pictures like, you fucking remember this? I mean, you know. That's great.
I still have my Lemmy bobblehead and my Lemmy book you gave me, and yeah, I love that stuff.
I've got some other Lemmy stuff for you. I can't remember what the hell it is. I'll find it.
You have a Rickenbacker in there somewhere, do you?
I do. No, you're not getting that. That was a gift.
Yeah. All right, guys. Remember, wipe front to back, clear your browser history, and go see some live music.
Thanks, everyone.
Adios. Amarillo Rocks.